and welcome back to the Let's Talk Hockey podcast here for Lewis University, the final episode of this semester. I'm your host, Logan Cap. Lots of stuff to talk about today, so we're going to just jump right into it. First things first, as always, we're going to talk about my jersey a little bit. This jersey is a little near and dear to me, or belongs in the trash can. I haven't really decided yet which one. This is the jersey that I was wearing when I broke my neck last year playing in men's league with my dad. I was wearing it, it just means a little something extra. I pulled it out of the bag today. It hasn't seen the light of day since that day. It's been in my hockey bag since then, a little over a year or so. It's good to bust that out and put it on and see if it still fits. And I don't have any pads on or anything, but it's just nice to kind of see it and have it out and wear it for everyone today. So lots of things happening in the NHL over the past couple days. Most notably, the NHL franchise in New York, one of them, the New York Rangers, was having a little disagreement with the NHL Player Safety Commission and George Peros. You'll see the statement on here on the screen right now. It says the New York Rangers are extremely disappointed that the Capitals forward Tom Wilson was not suspended for his horrifying act of violence last night at Madison Square Garden. Wilson is a repeat offender with a long history of these type of acts, and we find it shocking that the NHL and their Department of Player Safety failed to take the appropriate action and suspend him indefinitely. Wilson's dangerous and reckless actions cause an injury to Artemi Panarin that will prevent him from playing again this season. We view this as a dereliction of duty by NHL head of player safety George Peros and believe he is unfit to continue his current role. Now, obviously, there's some strong words being said there by the New York Rangers. And obviously the NHL did not like that. So today it came out that they were hit with a $250,000 fine for their statement up against the NHL, which I think a lot of people are upset about that. And I don't see why they have to fine them. I mean, they have the right to say whatever they want. I guess the NHL doesn't want teams disrespecting them, so that they're trying to set a precedence with that fine. But it's just interesting that this type of action has caused this much controversy. And then the best, I don't want to say the best part of that whole interaction between those two teams is that they had to play again the next day, if not the day after. Again, because of the COVID NHL kind of seasons, they're playing each team a couple nights in a row. And so if we look right here at this tweet by ESPN, there was 100 penalty minutes combined were assessed to the Capitals and Rangers in the first period alone. I mean, there was multiple fights that broke out right at the start of the game, right at the drop of the puck. And it just shows, I mean, the players will have to take matters into their own hands on the Rangers. And then as soon as Tom Wilson stepped on the ice, he was jumped, and he was involved in a fight as well. And then one of the New York Rangers, Pavel Buchnevich, was suspended for high-sticking Anthony Mantha during that game. It was a pretty brutal hit, and I think that just kind of sums up this whole interaction. I mean, he was suspended for that cross-check to the face of Anthony Mantha, but Tom Wilson was not suspended for his actions the previous game. So it kind of shows there's a little bit of, I don't want to say bias, but a difference of opinion from the NHL Board of Safety and what they have to say about different acts, depending on who did it or who was involved in the different situations, if that is the right word to say. Now, as we record this, the Blackhawks are playing tonight. They're playing Carolina, I believe. Yep, they're playing Carolina tonight. And the Blackhawks have failed to make the playoffs this year. And I'm not really that surprised, honestly. I mean, we talked a lot about it with a couple different people on this podcast over the couple different episodes that we had. And the Blackhawks just aren't going to compete this year. They're just not up to par with some of these other teams, and they just can't keep up with them. So if we take a look here at some of their stats, we don't have a whole lot going on here in terms of talent. I mean, we have Patrick Kane, wherever he's at, right here. But a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys. We have Kirby Doc, we have Brandon Hagel, we have a bunch of different people. Suter, Taves is out still, so that's a little hard. Seabrook's out. They're just kind of in a rough spot, and they haven't really been able to get their stuff together this year. I mean, if we take here a look at the stats for all the different teams, we scroll all the way down to the Chicago Blackhawks here in 20th place. I mean, there's no way they can compete with any of these teams. They're playing Carolina again today. They're in first place of the entire league, so I don't foresee them winning this game. I mean, the game really doesn't mean anything. So, but I mean, some of their stats, I mean, they're just struggling. I mean, they're struggling in their net. Obviously, they're letting it in a lot of goals. Now, that's not just the goaltender's fault necessarily. There's a couple different factors now that this number here revolves around. I think some other important numbers that we need to take a look at here are the power play and penalty kill percentage. Their power play numbers for the Blackhawks aren't that bad at 22%. I mean, that's higher than Vegas's, who's in second. So I think their power play has definitely gotten better than it has been in the past couple of years. I think their penalty kill needs a little bit of work here. 76% is on the lower end of the diagram here. Let's take a look here at power play or penalty kill, where the Blackhawks land. They're in 26th for penalty kill. So they need to take a look at that. They need to work on their penalty kill. And I think as they continue to develop as a team, they'll start to get to know each other better. They'll start to have a little bit better chemistry. Like I said, there's a lot of new faces around. We have a new coach. We have Coach Jeremy that we've had here for a while, a couple years now. So hopefully he's starting to kind of settle in and show that he's ready to be there, and he should be there. It should just be interesting to see what the next couple of years brings. We have the expansion draft happening this summer, so we'll see who they lose in that, and then hopefully they'll get a semi-decent draft pick in the next draft, just because of where they finished this season. With that will conclude the final episode of the podcast for this semester for Lewis University. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in so far, and let's go Hawks.